Okay guys, have you ever wondered how most bass players get to achieve that control over their notes? Stay braced. In today's video, we're going to be unveiling the mystery behind the muting technique. In this video, we're going to be looking at what muting technique actually is, how to use them, purpose for muting technique, and the problems beginners or bass players face while learning how to mute or while muting the bass guitar. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing us exercises that will help us improve our muting technique and as well applications on how you can apply this muting technique in your groove. It's not about learning it, but also application that matters. So I'll encourage you to actually stay to the end of this video so you don't miss out in any part of the video, guys. So get your bass, get your note. Let's start all over from the start as we get bit by bit into the video. So firstly guys, we're going to be looking at what is muting technique. Okay, muting technique is a technique used by most bass players to gain full control over the sustain and resonance of their notes in the sense of allowing them to play notes, allowing it to sound longer or sustain or cut or sound once and break. So this technique allows you to reduce noise. Most times this is very, very important for you when you're playing in studios, like you're tracking a song. Most producers don't want to hear you sound noisy, in the sense that when you're playing your bass, it starts to sustain. I'm going to show you an example of what I mean by that later in this video. So you don't want to hear those continuous sustaining sound, because the more of it, the more it starts making noise in the track. And as well, the muting technique also helps in achieving a clean percussive sound. Yeah, percussive sound. I'm going to explain this later in this video. I'm not talking about ghost notes. Ghost note is actually different from muting technique. So I'm going to still explain what I mean by that. It helps you to gain. I'm going to show you a groove, something like that. I'll give it a percussive and a focused sound, which you get. Now we'll be talking about the purpose of this muting technique. The purpose of muting technique is to achieve that clean percussive sound, yeah, and to have full control, like I said. Control how long a note sound, how short a note sound, those resonance sound, those sustaining sound. Do you want it to sustain? Do you want it to cut? This actually part of the elements that make you sound like a professional. Yeah, you're not just playing notes and this is longer than this is shorter than this, or this is sustaining more than this. You know how you want this groove to sound like, and you know how you want the notes to be sustaining. How you can control this makes you sound better, and it enhances clarity. Someone can actually pick out your note. This is what he's playing, or that's what he's playing, because it is being focused. Like I said, being focused. Yeah. So now guys, we're going to be looking at the types of muting technique. I know you're going to be wondering why up to now I've not played the bass yet, because I'm trying to lay foundation on what and why and purpose for this actual technique. If you know the purpose and why and what it actually is, it will help you to apply better. I hope you get. Types of muting technique: we have the palm technique and the left hand technique. Now the palm technique, this is where we're going to be majoring more on, because we're going to use it to play grooves. Okay, let me quickly explain the left hand technique. The left hand technique is where you use your left hand to mute the notes that you're playing. I do this a lot. If I'm playing my bass, this finger might be playing a note. The rest of these fingers gets to mute the note. I'm going to be showing you how you can actually achieve those things. So guys, if you're getting any form of value from this video, don't forget to hit the like button and the comment button, please. God. Let's continue. So guys, the left hand technique, this is the technique where you use your left hand to control full-time resonance while you are still playing grooves that sound out the notes. Yeah, you know, when you hear muting technique, you're expecting something like this to mute, to reduce, maybe something like this. Now this, what I just did now, I'm using the palm technique to mute. Now if I'm talking about the left hand technique, this is where I'm talking about trying to reduce noise, like I'm trying to make that noise, but I'm not hearing it yet. But I'm going to get a clip and attached to this video so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to play a groove now, and I'm going to be using my left hand to mute the notes while you still hear how clear those notes are. Now I'm playing this groove, at the same time I'm using this left hand to have full control over my notes. Let me show you how I did this. Now, like I said, I'm playing, but I'm as well using this hand to control it, in the sense that at some point I'm just wrapping the frets. Just look at my pinky finger, it's like on top of the string, so it do not allow any other unwanted notes, like maybe when I mistakenly strike, it will come out as a ghost note. It will not allow it to sound out. Hope that makes sense. Now, there are so many ways you can actually achieve the left hand muting technique using also your right hand, because there is something that happens most times when you play the bass. You might actually be playing with your right hand, but your right hand might end up playing the wrong string, or due to then it mistakenly strikes this string, maybe by mistake or little. Now let me assume I'm not muting it with this left hand. What will happen is it will sound maybe like this. Now you start hearing those noises. You get? So this finger or this hand helps to mute it while I play. But same time, that's why you have something like this when you play, like you're working through your string, your finger gets to stalk this string like this. Don't know if you can see it. Gets to stalk this like this, and then it mutes this string entirely. It doesn't allow it to vibrate for any reason. So now let's get deep into the palm technique, where you can actually use it to play grooves. Yeah.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
And I'm going to show you how I love using the palm technique and how you can actually also use it to sound great. Now, let me play a groove using the palm technique, and I'll tell you how and where and when I love using that palm technique. I'm on the key of C. Now look at how sweet and percussive this bass groove I just played now sounded. Now most times playing the muting technique helps you to lock with the drummer. That's one of the benefits of mute technique. Maybe you are in a band or in the middle of the groove and they be like, bring it down, break it down. Now you can actually keep it groovy, because at that point in time, maybe every other instrument might be staying low. Even the drummer can no longer play most of the things. Maybe if he was playing a groove that he was playing with the tom, the cymbals, everything, he has to go low, like just the snare drum, half snare, and maybe the hi-hat. Now it is your job as a bass player. You cannot also be sounding now. This is not actually being cool, because they said bring it down. So the best way to go about this is to keep it percussive, but at the same time you are still trying to stay low. Stuff like that. You're trying to keep it cool, at the same time percussive and groovy. You get? I'm going to also tell you how I love applying this muting technique even in worship songs. Yeah, I do it also in worship song, or when the groove is also starting, trying to gain balance. I like playing the muted notes. Yeah, so maybe the groove just started and I'm trying to lock with the drummer. Nobody like you, Lord. Nobody like you, Lord. Oh. Something like this. Oh, nobody like you, Lord. Nobody like. Now this is where, before you hear me play something like this, I'm already gaining balance in the music. That's when I can actually apply stuff like this. But when the song is just starting in the worship song, I like applying my muted notes like this, like very calm and simple. Before, like most times I do this, even when maybe the worship singer be like, bring it down, and then it's now just the kick. Dum, 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 bam, bam. I like to use the muted notes to follow the drummer cursively. Oh, nobody like you, Lord. Nobody. This is very, very cool. Like you can apply it in whatever way you are playing, or in whatever way you want to apply it, but you can actually use it to stay locked with the drummer. You know, as bass players, one of the sweetest and most efficient thing to do, or that will make you sound great, is staying synced with your drummer. If you can do this, you get hired most times. That's just the fact. So now I'm going to be showing us one of the mistakes most bass players do while playing the muting technique. This is very common because most people tend not to pay attention to it, and then boom, this is a problem. Yeah. Number one problem is applying too much pressure. When you apply too much pressure on it, on the strings, you tend to get the natural notes. Meanwhile, we're trying to achieve that percussive sound. So, you see, and if I'm applying too much, it's almost sounding like the natural note, and at some point you might be noticing some resonance in the sound. So the best way to avoid this is putting the maximum pressure you need, stuff like that. Now the next one is uneven muting. Yeah, you hear people play like this. Yeah, those notes are not coming out even in frequency, in the same size. Probably the sound, some sounds louder than some notes sound louder than some, and some notes are not even hard, or some notes are very loud. In this case now, it starts to sound like noise. So the best way to do this is pay attention to your muting technique. That's why you have your rehearsal time or your practice time, where you pay attention to most of these things. Make sure that it is sounding even and clean before you actually start to venture into playing it somewhere or whatever way you want to apply it. So guys, let me show you how to make how to achieve that palm technique. The palm technique is simply using your palm. It's simply using your palm. It's simply using your palm to mute the strings from the bridge. So then, in this way, you use your thumb and your finger to play. Most times, I've seen people that also play with just their thumb. But for speed, in as much as you are muting, you might want to play some crazy groove and you want fastness. You need at least two of your fingers. You need to develop at least two of your fingers that should be able to play the groove you want to play. So look at, in this case, so you see how my finger is playing the groove. Two of my fingers, they are playing the groove, so it has to work together. Now I'm going to show you an exercise that you can actually use to build speed around this technique. Now this exercise is going to be simple. I'm going to put it on just the major scale. You can actually use the major scale to develop the exercise, something like this. the essence of this exercise is to help you incorporate whatever you're doing, to incorporate these two fingers into playing. Now, if you are someone that knows how to use your thumb to play right from behind, it will not be an issue for you. All you need to do is just to mute that strings as simple as that. So guys, trust this video have been of much impact to you. The only favor you can do to me right now is to comment, like, and subscribe. And please, this is very important, guys. If you watch this video, don't forget to like, comment. This helps this video to be spread to other people who can actually get impacted from this same video, just as you have been impacted. I don't see it. Don't be selfish. See you all guys in my next video, guys.